You are living in a time where artificial intelligence is no longer just helping defenders. It is now stepping into the world of offensive security. For years, penetration testing depended heavily on human expertise. Skilled ethical hackers would manually probe systems, test configurations, chain vulnerabilities, and simulate real-world attacks. But now, you are seeing a major shift. Artificial intelligence-driven penetration testing tools are emerging, and one of the names making headlines is Guardian AI. When you hear about an artificial intelligence penetration testing tool, you might immediately wonder, is this replacing human testers? Is it safe? Is it powerful? And most importantly, what does this mean for you as a leader, architect, or security professional? Today, you will explore what Guardian AI represents, how artificial intelligence powered offensive testing works, why it matters, and what lessons you must learn to stay ahead in this rapidly evolving security landscape. What Guardian AI represents in modern cybersecurity. Guardian AI is being described as an artificial intelligence powered penetration testing platform. Instead of relying solely on predefined scripts or simple scanning engines, it uses artificial intelligence to simulate real attacker behavior. Traditional scanners can detect known vulnerabilities. They check for missing patches, expose ports, weak configurations, and outdated software. But real attackers do not stop there. They think. They adapt. They chain vulnerabilities together. They look for business logic flaws. They exploit misconfigurations in creative ways. Guardian AI aims to bridge that gap. You must understand that this is not just another vulnerability scanner. It is designed to behave more like an autonomous offensive security agent. It can explore environments, pivot between systems, attempt exploitation paths, and evaluate the real impact of weaknesses instead of simply listing them. This is a major shift. You are moving from static testing to dynamic adaptive testing. Why artificial intelligence changes penetration testing? Imagine you are conducting a traditional penetration test. A human tester logs in, scans the network, reviews findings, manually validates vulnerabilities, and tries to exploit them. This process takes time. It is expensive, and it usually happens once or twice a year. Now imagine you have an intelligent system that can run continuously. It learns from previous attempts. It adapts based on system responses. It tries multiple attack paths in parallel. It evaluates which path gives the highest impact. It prioritizes findings based on actual exploitability rather than theoretical risk. That is the promise of artificial intelligence-driven penetration testing. Guardian AI and similar tools are attempting to introduce continuous testing rather than annual testing, context-aware vulnerability chaining, automated exploitation simulation, realistic attacker emulation. For you, this means your attack surface is being evaluated in a more realistic way. But it also means attackers can use similar technology. Consider a real-world ransomware scenario. An attacker gains access through a simple phishing email. They harvest credentials. They log into a cloud environment. They discover that a service account has excessive privileges. They use that account to access storage. They find backup systems that are not isolated. They disable monitoring. They deploy ransomware. Now think about how many steps that required. No single vulnerability caused the breach. It was a chain of small weaknesses. A traditional scanner might detect weak password policy, overprivileged service account, unrestricted storage access, but it may not tell you how these combine into a full compromise scenario. An artificial intelligence tool like Guardian AI attempts to simulate that chain. It asks, if I gain access here, what can I reach next? If I escalate privilege here, what data becomes accessible? If I move laterally, what systems can I compromise? This is closer to how real attackers think. You must pause here and think strategically. If defenders can use artificial intelligence to automate penetration testing, what stops attackers from using similar or more advanced systems? Nothing. This is the double-edged sword of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. The same technology that empowers you to test better can empower criminals to attack faster. Attackers can deploy automated agents that continuously scan the internet, adapt to defensive controls, identify misconfigurations in real time, launch targeted exploitation campaigns. So you are entering an era where speed matters more than ever. If your organization tests once per year, but attackers test you daily using artificial intelligence, you are already behind. How artificial intelligence-based penetration testing works? To understand this deeply, you must look at the underlying principles. Artificial intelligence-driven testing platforms often rely on reinforcement learning models that learn from trial and error, large language models that understand system responses, graph analysis engines that map relationships between systems, automated exploit frameworks that simulate attack paths. When Guardian AI interacts with a target system, it observes responses. It learns what works and what fails. It updates its strategy. It pivots. For example, if a web application blocks certain injection attempts, the system may adapt and try alternate payloads. If network segmentation limits access, it may search for misconfigured firewall rules. If authentication blocks direct access, it may test password spraying scenarios. This iterative learning model allows it to explore deeper than static tools. As a security leader, you must understand this capability because it changes your risk model. You must rethink several assumptions. First, vulnerability management is no longer about counting issues. It is about understanding attack paths. Second, compliance-driven testing is no longer enough. Passing a checklist does not mean you are resilient. Third, security must become continuous. You cannot rely on periodic assessments in a world of autonomous attackers. Fourth, architecture matters more than ever. If your identity model is weak, if your network segmentation is poorly designed, if your logging is incomplete, artificial intelligence tools will expose those weaknesses rapidly. Guardian AI highlights a deeper lesson. Security posture must be measurable, not only in terms of vulnerabilities but in terms of exploitability. If you are a security architect, this is your wake-up call. You must design systems assuming that intelligent automated adversaries are constantly testing them. This means enforcing least privilege across identities, implementing zero trust principles, monitoring lateral movement patterns, isolating backups from production systems, enabling strong multi-factor authentication. You also need to integrate artificial intelligence testing tools into your own processes. Instead of fearing automation, you should adopt it responsibly. Use artificial intelligence-based penetration testing internally before attackers do. You must also address governance. Artificial intelligence penetration testing tools can be powerful. If misused, they can cause disruption. Automated exploitation must be controlled. Testing in production environments requires careful boundaries. You need clear authorization models, defined testing scopes, audit trails of automated actions, human oversight for critical decisions. Autonomous security does not mean uncontrolled security. The role of human expertise remains essential. Artificial intelligence augments human capability. It does not replace strategic thinking. You are moving into an era where offensive security becomes continuous, adaptive, context-aware, autonomous. Guardian AI is a signal of this transformation. In the future, You may see systems that not only detect vulnerabilities but automatically propose remediation plans, simulate the fix, validate the fix, and retest continuously. Imagine a loop where artificial intelligence attacks your system ethically, identifies weaknesses, suggests remediation, applies configuration changes in a test environment, verifies risk reduction, and reports executive impact. That is where cybersecurity is heading. And if you are not preparing for it now, you will struggle to keep up. As you reflect on this evolution, ask yourself, do you know your real attack paths or only your vulnerability list? Are you testing continuously or annually? Can your security team respond at machine speed? Is your architecture resilient against automated lateral movement? Are your detection systems tuned for intelligent adversaries? If you cannot confidently answer these questions, you have work to do. Guardian A. I is not just a tool, it is a reminder that the battlefield is changing. You do not need to wait for the future. You can start by mapping critical assets and identity relationships, conducting attack path analysis, implementing continuous security validation, reviewing privilege escalation scenarios, testing your backup isolation strategy, training your team on artificial intelligence risk. Even if you do not deploy Guardian AI specifically, you must adopt its mindset. Think like an adaptive attacker, design like a defensive strategist. You are standing at the intersection of artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. The tools you see today are only the beginning. Artificial intelligence powered penetration testing platforms like Guardian AI represent a shift from reactive defense to proactive and autonomous validation. But remember this clearly: technology alone does not secure you. Strategy, architecture, governance, and continuous improvement secure you. If you embrace artificial intelligence wisely, you can strengthen your resilience. If you ignore it, attackers will not. The choice is yours. If you found this session insightful, take the next step. Reflect on your own security posture today. Share this video with your team so that they understand how artificial intelligence is transforming offensive security. Like this video so it reaches more leaders and architects who need to hear this message. Subscribe to this channel to stay ahead in cybersecurity strategy and architecture. And most importantly, comment below with your thoughts. Are you ready for autonomous penetration testing, or do you believe human expertise will always dominate? Your journey in mastering modern cybersecurity starts now.